Hey there folks, I embarked on an epic journey through Germany this summer to discover what remains of World War II and the Cold War, all for a new book I'm working on. Ever wondered where those infamous V2 rockets were built? Curious to know about the remains of the Holocaust? Eager to know where Hitler and his cronies used to hang out? And let's not forget the intense battle for Berlin in 1945 and the wall that came after and shaped the future. Fast forward 80 years and there's still so much to discover. History isn't just in the past, but it's a vital guidebook for today and the decisions we make. So keep watching and join me on this fascinating journey. Okay, so first off, we're in Peenemünde, where they built the V2 rockets in the Second World War. And it's a lovely coastal area, lots of forest, right next to the Baltic coast on the northern part of Germany. And just driving up, it didn't quite compute that of all places they designed, built and fired the V2 rockets. Bringing death and destruction from a place like this just doesn't really add up. But anyway, I believe that the families who lived here with the scientists at least enjoyed the place a bit like a holiday resort, while Dad was designing death and destruction. So let's go and have a look. So here is the V2, the first ballistic missile of its kind. The sort of thing that changed the world and security forever. So right there you have the rail car, which was used to transport many thousands of people to and from the production facility and the launch site. And there is a V1 flying bomb. You can see it on the ramp there. Designed and built here. So the story of this place is that it was revealed by Polish spies, I believe, and the RAF bombed it. They probably bombed it a couple of times, but one of the things they did specifically was to bomb it at night. And they bombed the facility, but mostly, if you look at where the bombs dropped, they were around the housing areas where all the scientists and their families lived. And they did this at night. And the thinking apparently was that if you destroy the facility, it could just be rebuilt, which is what happened. But if you kill the scientists and their families, then that's all gone forever. And so that's what they did. So that's a pretty grisly tale about how it all ended. And what happened was that it was revealed, and so it moved to a place called Mittelbau, which is somewhere we're going to go in a couple of days' time. So what was the effect of these V2 bombs? Well, a huge psychological effect. They fired, I think, around about 2,000 of these towards Britain, but they had some fatal flaws in that they were hopelessly inaccurate. The ones that did hit did a lot of destruction, particularly in London, but most of them fell around the south of Britain, in the North Sea. But one thing that they did have for the very first time is a huge psychological effect. If you can imagine one of these V2s heading your way or flying past you, it would strike the fear of God in you. And that's exactly what it did. But as a war strategy, beyond that, it did nothing to win the war for the Nazis. Because as you probably know, once a population is besieged like that, all it does is strengthen their resolve to fight back. And that's what the Brits did. Okay, so this is interesting. Here's the locker room of some of the key scientists that worked here. And just looking around, this one is particularly interesting. Werner von Braun. Comments below if you can guess who that is. So this here is the V2 production facility inside. This is literally where they built things. Probably starting at this end, like a production line, and working their way to the other side. the ghosts of this place definitely still live here. This is the place where rocket science was born. All of this led to rockets going to the moon. So just looking out over the Baltic Sea, the launch site for the rockets is somewhere around about there. And you can imagine this place would have had V2 rockets being fired into the sky, out of the sea towards London. What a lovely place it is for such a hellish thing. We were short of time to visit the launch sites in the surrounding forests. It's a very large site and needs booking. So here are a few images of what you can expect if you want to visit yourself someday. I'd suggest you bring some good hiking boots.